Session is now in session. First item on the agenda is that Kevin needs a small tractor, that change trailer to tractor. We lost two in the fire and he can use one and be okay with that. And we can use the state bid to purchase it if the council okay it.
Did you say tractor?
Yeah,
It says on mine tractor.
yeah, change it to tractor, please.
Did he put that in the budget?
Well, we were looking at using the fire insurance. We have $52,000 in the insurance fund.
But that's for the building, right?
Well, what we can do on that bill, yeah, all right, 5, dear. Yeah, thank you. We can design a shed. I built a shed, 40 by 60, 16 foot high, and a 15 foot by 60 lean-to, and I got it for $28,000. The big cost was going with engineers. We can design it to, go down and get the drafting people. We can design a shed to have one side open and 3 enclosed.
So are you saying we can do the shed and the tractor?
Yeah, I think we can do it for less than the 52. And we used the existing slab where the building burned. Use the existing slab for it, make it the size of the slab. Any discussion? Further discussion? We can put it on the next council if y'all want to think about it.
We'll have to take bids anyway.
Oh, yeah, but, yeah, we can get it designed.
I think I'd be interested in getting some bids and see what the cost is.
Okay,
gonna be.
no, in other words, can I pursue this? Would y'all have a problem me pursuing it?
I think as long as we don't spend more money than we've got in reserve to do it well.
Okay. I will pursue it and get bid. Next.
My only concern is, sure we are, right after we approved the budget, we're already asking for a tractor we didn't know was gonna need.
Well, but this 52,000 wasn't part of the budget.
No, I know it wasn't part of the
Yeah.
budget.
Okay.
You will need to vote in the meeting to advertise for bids.
Well, we're gonna have to design it. We got time to do that. Swimming pool, splash pad, I talked to Larry, and we could do it for 40,000. He said, and have a nice pad.
I'm for that. I'd like to see us pursue some grants and see what,
I think there's gonna be some grants available. And by the way, I'd like for Ed and them, when we talk about grants, let's say we were gonna do a $100,000 project. The grants would be, if we got it, would be 75,000. We would have to match 25.
Yeah.
So that's the reason we have delayed some of the things on the revitalization. We didn't have the matching money.
Right.
So, but yeah, I talked to Kenneth Brooks with NACOG, and he thinks there'll be some grants available so we can apply for those.
Well, let me ask you a question, Scotty, since you're work with the recreation department more than I do. I know they've got monies in reserve. The matching money, if we get a grant to do the splash pad, could that come from their
so,
funds? It was not part of the budget.
I don't see a problem.
no, maybe.
Oh, and by the way, the poles are set and the lights are in, and we'll try to get those lights mounted for the Little League. And I'm glad we got the poles set before it started raining, so we get the trucks in there.
Good.
I thought of something that I think maybe Hamilton needs is an after-hours medical clinic. If y'all think the same, I'll try to pursue it and see what we can come up with.
You know, this was discussed by that group that came in to talk to us about the old shopping center.
Mhm.
It is a good idea.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, I'd like to call on the chief to discuss some insurance that's available to cover our inmates in case they get hurt or sick.
Can I say before I forget, because I will forget, trust me. without mentioning any names, just yes or no, is there anything going on at the old Piggly Wiggly building,
Piggly Wiggly building,
Food World?
I've had some discussion, but that, building, I think, is in receivership.
The reason I asked, somebody asked me was, they said they took the for sale sign down, that's why.
So,
I'll never go up
but-
there.
You know, I've talked to the realtor, you know, the sign on the realtor,
That's all.
and made some proposals, and he said, well, we can't really move until that receivership deal.
Before we move on, there's one related, sorry, Chief, but I've had people ask me the question, and I should have asked you earlier this afternoon, but they wanted to know why you weren't there at the ADO meeting in Vina with all these other mayors. You had
I
something
got the invitation the morning of the meeting,
of the meeting.
and I'd already had, made an appointment, had a commitment. I would have been there otherwise.
We better jump in real quick.
Well, you can.
There's a company called, I think it's called Correctional Healthcare. Dr. Bryce, I believe it is, that used to have a practice locally, I'm told, has experience working with the Board of Corrections. Has offered to provide his services to any city inmates for $300 a month, basically. That covers basic medication, medical care, not including surgery or major things. Things that we occasionally, I would say maybe once or twice a month, we have to pull an inmate out of the jail, take him to the hospital for something. If it's something that we can parole someone out and let them handle their own bill, we've done that in the past, and then put them back in jail. But there's also the condition where if something happens in jail, let's say inmates get fighting or something, might bear some liability. We have a bill pending right now from a prisoner that got injured, who had not been booked into the jail yet, but just for comparative purposes, that's going to be about a $1,200 to $1,600 bill. The health care that we would pay for $300 a month, it's cheaper, gives a better rate than some of the other cities around here. Didn't say what those other rates are. I didn't ask him, but he said it's a good rate, mainly because I think we're here where the jail is, and he doesn't have to, I guess, travel out to see other inmates, other places, so our people are fairly local for us. So I think it allows him to discount his rate a little bit. But it's basically insurance that would cover us liability-wise. If prisoners get to fighting or something happens, we could end up with thousands of dollars worth of medical liability. Right now, it hasn't been a big threat or a big issue, but we're kind of gambling without it. For $300 a month, $3,600 a year, it's probably a good investment. Right now, we're the only city, I believe, in Marion County that doesn't contract with them. The county jail contracts with them, and but because we have our own inmates, even though they're in the county jail, the contract with the county doesn't extend to our inmates. In the past, we've had inmates that say, I'm sick, I need to go to the hospital. We've relied on a patrol officer saying, well, I think you're faking or you're not, or whether trying to make a decision whether or not someone needs medical care. If we make the wrong call, and we're not medically trained to that regard, I think we're just stepping into a liability issue. This will allow medical care at the jail as appropriate, and where the jail can't take care of it, will allow basic care at the hospital through Dr. Price.
How many inmates do we average, I guess, a month?
At any one time, there's probably 15 to 20 in jail. They come and go depending on making bond or not, but at any one time, there might be as many as 15 or 20.
From city inmate?
From the city.
Okay.
This $300 a month is not per inmate, it's for
No, ma'am,
all of our
it's
inmates.
for all of our inmates. And it only covers them once they've been booked into the jail. The incident that happened the other day, a person had not been booked into jail yet. But again, that's just comparative cost. He went to the emergency room, had some medical care to his arm, and the bill that we saw was $1,652. We don't know if they're going to discount that because he didn't have insurance.
Okay. Any discussion?
Would this cover all expenses that would incur, or would they be added expenses other than the $300 a month that we pay, like co-pays and that sort of thing?
it covers, I'm gonna say minor medical, it wouldn't cover surgeries and things of that nature. It's basic medications, examinations, primary care type of physician needs, but not major needs.
Well, is that our expense now? Is that something we're having to pay now if a person had to have surgery?
Well, what we've been doing is when we take them to the hospital and basically bond the prisoner out or on their own recognizance for a while, let them have their medical care, then we'll take them back into custody, or we may just outright bond someone out who's been in jail, let them go. We had a young lady in jail the other day who was claiming to have a medical issue, and she just didn't want to be in jail. Went to the hospital claiming that she was vomiting blood, and went through the examinations and everything, and Dr. Price happened to be the doctor on duty that night. It was basically a false complaint. She was trying to get out of jail, but he was there to take care of it. That bill is on her, but if it's something that happened in the jail, or let's say it was real, she got sick and something happened in the jail, we might have some liability there. I mean, it's such a tricky issue without us being, I'd say us, anyone in city employee being trained as a medical officer, or nurse, or doctor. And we have had the fire department go to the jail, including for this young lady's time, so just give a basic evaluation. What do you think? They went there and got a blood pressure reading that showed that her blood pressure was elevated. So she went to the hospital.
What's the feeling of the council?
I think we want to study a little bit more.
Okay. Thank you, Chief, for your input. We'll discuss it and make a decision.
Scott Hunt does have a copy of the contract that they were offering that probably provides better,
Okay.
more detailed information as to what exactly.
Okay, we'll make copy. We'll get Shay to make copy
Okay.
and then give to every council where they can. Concrete slab for the.
Do you mind if I say something before we move on?
Yeah,
Jan, do you know how much we've spent in the last year on our inmates for medical, approximately? Can you remember anything that
I can't remember off the top of my head one.
me either, that's what I was
But,
trying
you
to.
know,
I don't think we are spending anything.
Okay.
It's more the,
it's the more the risk I think
Yeah.
it
we're
could
kind of
be.
walking something, it's like riding without car insurance. You may never have a wreck, but if you do, it's going to get expensive.
We have had some in the past, but I can't remember one.
The last year, okay.
Suggestion that we add place a concrete slab at Pocket Park where the old fountain was located. It's about a 21 by 31 hole where the fountain was. And we've gotten some bids. Carl Parker 1,800, Patrick Ballard 1975, and Chris Cochran at 1,600. We'll place conduit before the slab's poured for water and electricity, so it'll be available if we want to ultimately decide on a fountain or a gazebo or something.
Has the beautification board been contacted on this, and have we found out what they would like to see?
No, I hadn't talked to them.
I know they sort of oversee that park and decorate it and landscape it.
We might have to end up doing the concrete, but that wouldn't be a bad idea to contact them and see what they thought.
Okay, I will. ADM is putting pressure on Rodney for us to have a chief operator. And he says Mark Collier's most qualified, and you see the step, he'd get $1 raise. And, if ADM's putting pressure on us to do that, we need to abide by it. Any comment?
I do, I have a comment.
Okay.
We didn't put it in the budget again. Here we are a month after budget and all these things are coming up. We knew ADM was putting pressure on us, right?
Well, Rodney had been talking to me lately, I didn't realize we had to do that until,
This is for you.
You didn't know until after the budget?
I probably did, but I really didn't think about it that much until Rodney started talking to me recently about the pressure that he's getting from ADM to,
We've known about this for a year,
maybe,
and we just never did do anything.
okay. Everybody in favor of doing that? If so, we'll do it next council meeting.
We're probably gonna have to if
Yeah, I don't like having to do it, but from what I'm getting from Rodney, if we got to, then I don't like it.
Okay.
Can I go, oh, we, well, we're gonna finish with that, I got a question on something.
Okay, number 8, since we're enforcing a 2-hour parking, 30-minute parking uptown, we're gonna have to go by it too. And I propose us build a little parking lot on the northwest corner. We can do it with, street department. Minimum cost. And we can slag it, now, and then in the spring pave it. We'll wanna slag it where people won't get their shoes muddy. Parking there.
How many parking places can be provided in that space?
I'd probably say maybe 10.
Will that be sufficient?
I think so, yeah.
People work in the city hall.
I counted, not counting the police department.
Well, Jan and Shay, the TV lady, Mara, needs a place to park.
And the water department.
And the water department trucks when they're here.
That'd be about, take care of.
Yeah.
You've
some
got,
of that.
Kathy, of course Kathy parks in the back, got Connie, two ladies in the police department.
They park
We
around
have a-
back though, don't they?
they park from there.
Yeah, they've been parking in the back.
Was it cable trucks?
Yeah, and,
Trucks have been parking out here.
but they're not usually parked 2 hours, they run and get the orders through. But we'll talk to them about parking right there too.
I would like to see, sort of a drawing that somebody could do to show us where it's gonna go and what it's gonna look like when we get through. Do we have anybody that can do that within the city, Jane, do you know?
Scott, can you drive?
I can,
I was just kidding.
but no, you wouldn't want to, you couldn't tell anything about my drawing.
Stick figure.
Okay. I'll try to get us one drawing. Okay, anyone else have anything for this work session?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Going back to the insurance issue, is there any legal issues on that, Scott?
Yes,
There are?
yes. A multitude. Good or bad? Depends on who's good and who's bad.
On our side?
Yes. Bad from our standpoint.
That's all I got.
Okay. Paul? David? Lynette? Do you have anything? Got it at all? Chief, you have any further? Man? Any of the news media? Okay, this work session now.